So yeah, so that's interesting that Neckbone said that Suge and Pac chased the Cadillac, right? I doubt that Suge and Pac chased the Cadillac. You know, I'm Neckbone might know more than I know, but according to the story, the Cadillac made a right turn on Flamingo and Koval and went down to East Harmon. Suge and Pac made a U-turn on Flamingo and Koval and drove up to Las Vegas Boulevard and made the left and got jacked up by the police between Flamingo and East Harmon. The Cadillac went down, made the right on Flamingo and Koval, and made the right on East Harmon and stopped on Audrey Street and parked at the carriage house. So um I don't know if Neckbone got it twisted, but I can't say he was there. But his story does conflicts with Suge's story. And if you look where Suge and them got jacked up by the police at, it was on Las Vegas Boulevard. And if they would have chased the white Cadillac, they would have had to make the right, unless it was two separate vehicles that was involved in the shooting. But I know for a fact that Suge told me when he made the U-turn on Flamingo that the police came out of nowhere in another car and sideswiped him, and he had to dip them, and that's why he went on the sidewalk, and that's how his rims got cracked and bent, and he got the flats. Because think about it, if Suge would have just made a U-turn and drove up straight up to Flamingo, he wouldn't have had no dent in his rim, right? Let's see if we can find a picture of the opposite side of the car. As you can see, the back rim is bent up too. I can't really tell if his car was damaged, like, because he said they sideswiped him trying to get them after he made the U-turn. Really don't see no body damage. The body damage would be on the driver's side, and there's really ain't no. Don't see no shots of the driver's side. Yeah, I don't see no shots to the driver's side, but I know for a fact that Suge said the police. He ain't say no gang members. He said the police sideswiped him, and that's how his rim. That's how his rims hit the curb. You can see that the rims is bent up. Choke, do you think George D. Williams could be involved in Vegas hit on Tupac and Suge since he put a hit on G in the summer '96? G executed most of Death Row Blood. I don't know. I don't think, honestly speaking, I don't think no street dudes did this Vegas thing. Thanks for the super chat though. I don't think no street guys did this Vegas hit because ain't no it. This is too professional, and if this was some street dudes that did this, somebody would have been arrested a long time ago, and they damn sure wouldn't have got away. I doubt that highly. Now, like I was telling y'all before, not only did Buntry have a radio, like I showed y'all the other day when they was walking out the MGM Grand, but Suge had a radio too. You can see Suge radio right there. The Buntry and Suge had radios, right? But so not only did Neckbone say that Suge and Pop was chasing the Cadillac, which is new information, um, but Neckbone also said Buntry got off a couple of shots, and he did not shoot. By the time he was able to get his ratchet out of the stash spot, the car was long gone, and Buntry and them was in front of him, and he wasn't going to shoot because they would have been in the line of fire. Right now, here's the other thing. Vlad asked him, did he know that it was Orlando and the Southside Crips that night? And he said no. Which is very puzzling. Why? Because Pork Butt was able to call his father within the hour, and he wasn't there with Neckbone in them. He wasn't there at the MGM Grand, but he was able to call his father and tell him exactly who did it. Orlando Anderson did it. So how could Reggie Wright Jr. call his father and tell him it was Orlando Anderson doing that did the shooting when Neckbone was there? And in 2026, he's still saying the night that it happened, they didn't know who did it. They didn't hear those rumors until after, later. So how did Reggie know the same night, within minutes to an hour, that it was Orlando Anderson allegedly? How? How? When Neckbone said they didn't even know. So how did Reggie know if if Neckbone didn't know and Neckbone was there at the scene? And Neckbone was there at the MGM Grand. So how couldn't he know But Reggie knew to call his father before he saw anybody and say that and identify the shooter. Somebody tell me how is that possible? And Neckbone said he felt like it could have been Southside for them, you know, to to get revenge for them jumping on Orlando at the MGM. Now, the one thing I wish Vlad would have asked him was Marv James said he called them and told them that Keefe D and them was up at the club. I don't know how Vlad seemed to miss that question to ask him, yo, did Marv James call y'all and said the South Side is up here right now? Because remember, Keefe D said they sat in the 662 parking lot for 30 to 40 minutes. Marv James says they pulled up to the bus stop. Keefe D said they pulled in the parking lot and was sitting in the back for 30 to 40 minutes waiting for Tupac and Suge. Because they was going to ask him to give Pac to ask Pac to give Orlando a fair one, a fade, right? But it don't match because Marv James is saying that they pulled up in the bus stop area in the white Cadillac for 5 minutes. But Keefe D is saying in his story, they pulled into the parking lot in the back and was there for 30 to 40 minutes. How is none of these stories matching up? And why did Pork Butt and them go and say recently that Neckbone was the one shooting at the Cadillac? That's a lie. And why are they trying to implicate Neckbone, saying that Neckbone was shooting when Neckbone never shot? And the best thing Neckbone could have did, and I don't approve of him going on Vlad because I would hate to see that brother get jammed up or subpoenaed because of something that he said on Vlad, which is the interrogation room, right? It's like, yo, man, these guys will not go in the precinct and sit down and talk to the police, but they will go on Vlad and let him interrogate them as if the police ain't watching anyway. That's the thing I don't get about these guys. They will never go and sit in the precinct for an interrogation. And for some way or another, they think that is something different about going on Vlad and making statements and think that it ain't the same thing as them going in the precinct and making statements. You still making a statement. But we know for a fact now, even though Pork Butt was lying, saying that Neckbone was shooting at the white Cadillac, when he said that the other day, I was like, why are they trying to put Neckbone as the shooter now? Oh, because Buntry's dead, and they want Neckbone to get not indicted, subpoenaed, so that he could be put in the Cadillac or Keefe D in Vegas. Because it never made sense to me that after all this time, even in the grand jury, if I'm not mistaken, Pork Butt says that Buntry shot at the white Cadillac and they shot back at him, and it was holes in the black Toyota Supra. Now he want to go and say Neckbone was shooting, knowing that ain't true. But in my opinion, to try to get Neckbone subpoenaed in court. So, man, yo, you know what, man? It's crazy to me. I'm just gonna say it's just crazy to me. These dudes will not talk to the police, but they will get on Vlad and give statements for the police to see. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. But that's all I really got to say for the night. It'll be more tomorrow. You know, if you just tuned in, I talked about Jim Jones and Dame Dash. You could go back and watch the replay. But it's Choke No Joke. You already know. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate it. All right.